Okay, now we're going to continue covering some more of the night combat rules. And this video, we're going to focus specifically on Starshells and how they're going to work. Starshells are similar to smoke in the effect that smoke will obscure lines of sight during the daytime, while Starshells will illuminate things, so make things easier to see during your nighttime scenarios. Just like smoke is listed down in your module-specific rules at the beginning of your scenario booklet, your Starshell capability for whatever nation is going to be listed down at the beginning of your scenario booklet as well. For example, for Heroes of Normandy, all the nations are going to have a Starshell capability of 2, which means that they need to roll a 2 or under to take and call in a Starshell, and a leadership's modifier can take and be used to modify that, so effectively making it 3 or under to take and call it in using a leader. So an eligible leader or hero can call it in as long as they're not marked with your standard markers: moved, assault move, low, crawl, fired, stealth, ops complete. As long as they're not marked with any of those, they can attempt to take and call in a Starshell. They can attempt to call it in within 3 hexes of the hex that they're in. So in our examples shown out here, our American unit can't see these Germans because they're beyond the 2 hex visibility range of a night combat mission, but they could attempt to take and call in a Starshell within 3 hexes of themselves to try to light up these German units. And the way a Starshell is going to work is, let's say our American unit takes and calls in a Starshell, and he calls it in here. The hex that it's in and the 6 surrounding hexes are going to be treated as if it's daytime. Now, the unit that calls it in is going to be marked as ops complete, and they're going to be marked as ops complete whether or not they succeed in calling in the Starshell. So in this situation, our German unit now would be lit up just like it were daytime. They could be fired on and seen and everything, just like it was a normal day scenario. And the American squad in the hex with this leader could fire on them, not with the leadership's modifier though, because he could not take and call in the Starshell and help their attack, but they could take and see and fire on them as normal. There's one other thing when it comes to Starshells though, is the fact that they can be called in by an onboard mortar as well. So let's say that our American leader here lit up these German units and our Sherman tank way up here fired at them. In this case, a leader or a scout that's eligible could take and use an onboard mortar to call in a Starshell to light up a hex that is underneath a fired marker, as long as it's in the range of the mortar. So in our situation here, the German leader could take and light up this tank by having the mortar that's tucked behind this woods drop a Starshell on top of it, so they would be able to see and fire on it without the associated nighttime combat penalties that you would normally have. In that case, the German leader would be marked as ops complete and the onboard mortar would be marked as fired.